Today was the day my first off-grid overnighter was finally going to happen. The goal was to prove that I could take my cargo e-bike to a place without power and recharge and cook using my solar system. Even 2 nights after flying across the Atlantic, regardless of my tiredness and the state of the system, I was determined to seize my chance. I was heading to a small bivouac site beside the river, 94 kilometers from home. A place where camping was allowed, but there was no power or water. The forecast had clouds, rain and headwinds on day 1, but day 2 was going to be better. It took quite a while to get out of the door, so the first battery change wasn't until after 1. I tend to change the batteries early so that I have more time to recharge them during the ride. The fold-out solar array on the back of the bike had been rebuilt the night before. The previous prototype had failed after only 2 trips, so I had to add aluminum backings to the brand new panels. What surprised me was the effect I could already see while only 1 panel was active. The battery drain was remarkably low, and I saw up to 49 watts of solar during the ride. I can't tell whether this was because of the way it was attached, or whether the old panels had simply been worse or already damaged. The headwinds made the ride less comfortable than the last time I came along here, so I was actually thankful for every bush along the road. After 2 hours, I stopped for the main charging break. The wind gust quickly revealed the remaining flaws of the solar array. I unfolded the new portable panels, connected them to the power system and hooked up the batteries. These panels travel inside the panniers, allowing me to lower the center of gravity at the back by 10 centimeters compared to what I used before, but I have to see how long they last. 320 watts. 470 watts of solar should produce decent results, even with folding panels lying flat on the ground. I didn't expect to see much, but at times I saw 300 watts coming in, and even when it was cloudy, it was still at 80 watts. 100 watts in the shadows. Time to pack up. Here comes the rain. But then the rain came in. Of course, it stopped the moment I had finished packing up. Okay, on we go. It had gotten late and there was no way to call ahead, so I focused on the ride to make it there before 7. And eventually, the path opened onto the river. The place existed, and it was extraordinary. A small clearing beside the water with the evening sun across the river. Enough space for the tent, the bicycle, and the panels. And I was all alone. This was the kind of place the entire system had been built to reach. The wind arrived with me, and immediately joined in with the tent setup. At least it helped with the pump back. Dinner was goulash heated in the 12-volt lunchbox. The lunchbox worked quietly beside the tent while the wind continued moving through the clearing, and I used the remaining sunlight to gather more energy. Almost 8 o'clock, we're still doing 80 watts. The evening became calmer as the sun moved lower over the water. The bicycle had carried everything I needed to turn this clearing into a comfortable place for the night. This is what I signed up for. At 4:45 in the morning, the crows announced the beginning of the next day. The sunrise was worth leaving the tent for. I filmed it for a little while, and then I went back to bed. When I got up again, it was 9, and the first coffee of the day was already sponsored by the sun. Even under the cloud cover, the complete solar array was producing around 100 watts, and when the sun appeared, the output climbed towards 400. Coffee time became breakfast time. Breakfast time became another hour beside the river. By around 11 o'clock, the batteries were full again. Eventually, around noon, I packed the camp back onto the bicycle and began the 94-kilometer journey home. During the return trip, I stopped once more to see how much work the system really needed. I will need better ways to attach the rear solar array to the telescopic rods, and I have to replace the MC4 connectors with something that is easier to disconnect and reconnect. But overall, I had gotten there, cooked, and had enough power to get back. The system had proven its resilience, harvesting 1.1 kilowatt hours altogether, 200 watt hours of which were generated during the ride. And overall, lowering the weight made the bike much more suitable for the rough parts of the ride. The journey also revealed the next stage of the project. A heavily loaded cargo bike can carry an entire camp, but bringing it through the suburbs takes 2 hours each way. Many places and shorter trips call for something lighter. Something I can use to explore more distant destinations before taking the big bike there on a longer tour. And I already have something in mind.